Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a never-ending loop, constantly battling your own thoughts and emotions? The harder you try to break free, the deeper you seem to sink. That's what we're going to explore today. This one mental trap that's quietly sabotaging your progress without you even realizing it. It's something we all deal with at some point in our lives, yet it's so ingrained in our minds that we often don't see it as a problem. So, what exactly is this mental trap? It's called cognitive dissonance. You've likely heard the term before, but how often do you stop and think about how it affects you? Cognitive dissonance happens when your beliefs, attitudes, or actions are in conflict with each other, causing a sense of discomfort and tension. Think of it like a tug-of-war happening inside your brain. On one hand, you have your beliefs and values. On the other hand, you have your actions or decisions that don't align with those beliefs. This conflict creates mental discomfort, dissonance, and your mind wants to resolve it as quickly as possible. So what does it do? It either changes your beliefs to match your actions, or it justifies your actions, ignoring the conflict altogether. But here's where it gets tricky. Instead of solving the problem, this response only reinforces the issue. You end up making excuses or rationalizing your behavior to maintain your current state, even though it doesn't serve your best interests. This constant justification keeps you stuck. And it doesn't end there. Cognitive dissonance can also keep you from trying new things or taking risks. The fear of contradicting your own beliefs or making a mistake is enough to prevent you from stepping out of your comfort zone. It's like you've built an invisible cage around yourself, and no matter how badly you want to break free, you're trapped inside. Now, think about a time when you've avoided making a decision because it didn't align with what you thought was right. Maybe you've stayed in a job that doesn't bring you happiness, or you've delayed a big life change because it didn't fit with the version of yourself you've always believed in. That's cognitive dissonance at work. It's telling you that it's easier to stay in your comfort zone, even if that zone isn't serving you anymore. But here's the thing, when you allow that dissonance to rule your life, it keeps you stuck in the same old patterns. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, making it harder to make meaningful changes or take action. This constant mental tension drains your energy and steals your motivation. The longer you stay in this state, the more exhausted and disconnected you become. And it's not just your motivation that's affected. It also impacts your ability to see new opportunities and make decisions. When your mind is too busy justifying your current situation, it can't focus on what's next. It's like trying to move forward while looking back. Every step you take feels like you're dragging an anchor behind you, holding you in place. But here's the good news. Awareness is the first step in breaking free from this trap. The moment you recognize that cognitive dissonance is at play, you can start to take control. You don't have to let it control you anymore. The power lies in the ability to question your justifications and challenge your beliefs. This doesn't mean you have to completely overhaul your life overnight, but it does mean you can start to make small shifts. Once you begin to question your thoughts and actions, you'll notice a shift in your perspective. You'll start to see new possibilities and opportunities that were once hidden by the mental fog of dissonance. You'll feel lighter, more motivated, and empowered to make decisions that align with your true self. The key to overcoming cognitive dissonance is understanding that your beliefs and actions don't have to be in conflict. They can work together in harmony. When your actions align with your core values, you'll experience a sense of internal peace and confidence. And that's when you'll truly begin to break free from the patterns that have kept you stuck for so long. Now that we've identified the mental trap, it's time to dive deeper into how this cognitive dissonance shows up in your life and why it's so hard to escape. It's not just an abstract concept, it's something you experience every day, often without even realizing it. You see, the reason it's so powerful is that it doesn't just challenge your thoughts, it manipulates your feelings too. When your actions contradict your beliefs, it triggers a flood of emotions. Guilt, shame, frustration, or even anger. These emotions come from the uncomfortable realization that you're not living in alignment with who you want to be. And guess what? Those feelings are not going anywhere. In fact, they often grow stronger the longer you avoid confronting them. But here's the kicker. These emotions don't motivate you to take action as you might expect. Instead, they often push you further into denial or avoidance. Instead of facing the discomfort, your mind works overtime to justify your behavior, even if it's against your best interests. The more you ignore it, the more you get caught in a cycle of self-deception. This is where cognitive dissonance really starts to control your life. It hijacks your decision-making process and limits your ability to make clear, intentional choices. You might tell yourself, "I'll deal with this later," or "I don't have the energy to face it right now." In the moment, it seems like an easy way out. But the truth is, every time you delay facing the issue, the tension builds up even more, and your options get narrower. Over time, this small avoidance becomes a big problem. Imagine waking up every morning, carrying the weight of all the unresolved conflicts and justifications. Your mind is like a battlefield, full of contradictions, self-doubt, and the pressure to make everything seem okay, even when it isn't. But here's the danger. As you continue to make excuses, you get more and more disconnected from the real you. The version of yourself that would have acted differently if there were no mental barriers in the way. This disconnect from your true self creates even more tension and frustration. You end up feeling lost, uncertain, and out of touch with your own values. You may even start to question your ability to make good decisions at all. It's like being trapped in a fog, where everything you do feels unclear and disconnected. So, what happens when you're stuck in this cycle of cognitive dissonance for too long? The result is a loss of self-trust. You stop believing that you have the power to change, to make better decisions, or to live in alignment with your true values. You start to feel like a passive observer in your own life. Instead of taking control, you allow circumstances, fear, and external pressures to dictate your choices. And over time, this erodes your self-confidence and inner strength. You become reactive instead of proactive, letting life happen to you instead of actively shaping your future. The good news is that you can break free from this cycle. It starts with a simple but powerful shift. Awareness. Recognizing when cognitive dissonance is happening in your mind. Once you can identify the thoughts and behaviors that are out of alignment, you can begin to take small steps toward resolution. It's about learning to embrace discomfort and trust yourself enough to make choices that truly reflect who you are, not who you think you should be. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. The more you practice alignment between your beliefs and actions, the more natural it becomes. You'll begin to feel more authentic, more confident, and more in control of your decisions. One of the most effective ways to break free from cognitive dissonance is to ask yourself hard, honest questions. Why am I really doing this? Does this action reflect the person I want to become? What's truly holding me back from making a change? These questions force you to confront the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. And it's in that uncomfortable space where true growth happens. The discomfort is a signal that you're about to make a breakthrough. It's a signal that you're stepping out of your old patterns and into a new, more aligned version of yourself. Now, I know that facing this discomfort isn't easy. It's going to feel like walking into the unknown, and it's going to challenge your old ways of thinking. But here's the thing. Nothing worth having comes without a bit of struggle. The more you push through that discomfort, the more clarity and freedom you'll find on the other side. It's about breaking down the mental walls that have kept you trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage. When you embrace the discomfort, you start to shift your mindset and actions. The tension eases, and your mind begins to align with your true desires. Let's dive deeper into how we can actually start resolving this mental trap. Because, let's face it, just knowing about cognitive dissonance isn't enough to fix it. It's all about taking action. The first step is acknowledging that change is going to require effort. It's easy to stay in the same comfortable self-deceptive pattern, but true growth only comes when you're willing to disrupt that cycle. It's going to feel unnatural at first, but that's how you know it's working. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, which means you're heading in the right direction. And don't worry, discomfort doesn't last forever. The more you challenge yourself, the easier it becomes. One powerful technique to start dismantling cognitive dissonance is practicing self-compassion. It's so easy to beat yourself up when you realize you've been avoiding or justifying your actions. You might even start feeling like you're not worthy of change. But that's the trap. Self-compassion allows you to break free from the guilt and shame that hold you back. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you'd offer a friend going through the same struggle. Instead of berating yourself for the mistakes you've made or the avoidance tactics you've used, recognize that this is part of being human. Everyone faces these challenges. What matters is what you do next. Acknowledge where you're at and commit to moving forward without judgment. When you practice self-compassion, you give yourself permission to grow. But let's go even deeper. One of the most effective ways to start aligning your actions with your beliefs is to create small, achievable goals that are directly connected to your values. You don't need to fix everything all at once. In fact, trying to do so is a recipe for burnout and further frustration. Start small, with manageable steps that you can easily integrate into your daily life. For example, if you believe in the importance of health but find yourself constantly skipping workouts, set a tiny goal. Just 10 minutes of movement a day. The key is consistency, not perfection. By setting small goals, you allow yourself to feel a sense of accomplishment, which reinforces positive behavior. And with every small victory, the gap between your beliefs and actions begins to close. Over time, these tiny shifts accumulate into significant, life-changing transformations. And here's a little secret. The more you take action on these small goals, the more momentum you build. This momentum carries you forward, and before you know it, you'll have broken through that mental trap entirely. But there's one more powerful tool that can speed up this process, and that's the power of accountability. When you hold yourself accountable to someone else, it brings a new level of commitment to the process. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or even a coach, having someone to check in with can make all the difference. Accountability provides structure, motivation, and a sense of responsibility. It keeps you on track when the temptation to fall back into old habits arises. Knowing that someone else is invested in your success makes you more likely to stay committed to your goals. Here's how accountability works in practice. Imagine you've set a goal to start meditating for 5 minutes a day. You tell a friend about your goal, and you agree to check in with each other at the end of the week to see how things are going. This simple act of sharing your intention with someone else makes it more real. It adds a layer of external pressure that motivates you to follow through. If you skip a day, you know you'll have to explain why, and that little bit of discomfort can be enough to keep you from procrastinating. But there's another layer to this as well. Embracing your mistakes. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that making mistakes means you failed. But in reality, mistakes are a powerful tool for growth. They are opportunities to learn, adjust, and become more resilient. When you make a mistake, don't let it derail your progress. Instead, use it as feedback. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? And how can I use this experience to make me stronger? This mindset shift transforms mistakes from failures into stepping stones on the path to success. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Finally, we need to talk about self-reflection, a tool so powerful that it can completely change the course of your life. By regularly reflecting on your thoughts, actions, and emotions, you begin to notice the subtle patterns that influence your decisions. Self-reflection allows you to spot cognitive dissonance before it takes root, giving you the power to stop it in its tracks. When you take a few moments each day to reflect on how you're feeling and why you made certain choices, you build a deeper understanding of yourself. This awareness is what enables you to course correct and stay aligned with your true desires. It's not easy to break free from cognitive dissonance. It takes courage, persistence, and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths about yourself. But here's the thing, you are capable of this change. Every single person who has ever overcome a mental trap has done so by choosing to act in the face of fear, discomfort, and uncertainty. You are no different. The power is within you to create a life where your actions align with your beliefs, where you make choices that are in harmony with who you truly are. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Now that we've covered how to break free from the cognitive dissonance trap, let's dive deeper into some powerful techniques that will keep you on track. One of the most effective ways to reinforce these changes is by visualizing your success. Visualization might sound like a simple technique, but it's incredibly powerful. It's used by athletes, successful business people, and even neuroscientists to train the brain for success. When you visualize yourself taking the steps necessary to align your actions with your beliefs, you begin to rewire your brain to see those actions as possible and achievable. The key here is to not just imagine the end result, but to vividly picture the process. See yourself waking up early to go for that jog. See yourself saying no to distractions, and most importantly, see yourself overcoming the inner resistance that pops up along the way. When you do this consistently, your brain starts to believe that these actions are not just a possibility, but an inevitability. The more real and detailed your visualizations are, the stronger the effect. Another method that can drastically improve your alignment is positive affirmations. You might have heard of affirmations before, but let's take them one step further. Instead of simply repeating generic phrases like, "I am worthy," or "I can do this," use affirmations that are specific to the beliefs you're working to align with. If you've been avoiding difficult conversations because you're afraid of confrontation, you could say something like, "I am confident and open in my communication, and I face challenges with courage." By making your affirmations personal and specific, you reinforce the exact shifts you want to make. It's important to remember that these methods don't work overnight. Like any skill, it takes time and consistency to build them into your life. But just like any habit, the more you practice, the easier it gets. It's a cycle of growth, small steps that lead to larger strides. And don't forget about environmental factors. They play a massive role in breaking free from mental traps. Your environment can either support your goals or sabotage them, and it's essential to surround yourself with positive influences. Think about the people, places, and things that influence your day-to-day life. Are they pushing you toward your goals or holding you back? It's time to take a hard look at the elements in your life that you can change to support your new, more empowered mindset. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life, but you might need to set boundaries with certain individuals who perpetuate negative thinking or habits that hinder your progress. For example, if a friend consistently encourages you to procrastinate or make excuses, you might need to limit your time with them. On the flip side, seek out those who uplift and motivate you. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire you and share your values can provide the encouragement and accountability that will keep you moving forward. And of course, don't underestimate the power of your physical environment. Is your workspace cluttered, distracting, or filled with items that don't reflect your goals? A tidy, organized, and intentional space can boost your focus and energy levels. Make your environment a reflection of the life you want to create, not the life you're trying to escape. Your space should be a place that nurtures your growth and keeps you focused on your ultimate objectives. Another great tool to break free from mental traps is journaling. Writing down your thoughts, emotions, and experiences helps you process and make sense of them. It allows you to externalize your internal dialogue and gain perspective on your actions and beliefs. This is especially helpful when you're feeling stuck. When you journal about a specific situation where you experienced cognitive dissonance, you can often uncover the root cause of the conflict between your beliefs and actions. Writing about it helps you see the situation from multiple angles, and it's a great tool for brainstorming solutions. Try this. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to reflect on your experiences and the choices you made. Ask yourself questions like, did I act in alignment with my values today? If not, why? What could I have done differently? This kind of reflective practice creates a deeper connection between your beliefs and actions. And the more you practice it, the more you'll notice the shift happening in your life. And remember, progress is not linear. There will be days when you slip up, make mistakes, or face setbacks. That's okay. Growth is about moving forward, even when it feels messy. The key is to keep going. If you fail, don't give up. Instead, treat each mistake as an opportunity to learn. Every single setback is just feedback to help you course correct and become more aligned with who you truly want to be. As you continue on this journey, keep in mind that the most important thing is patience. Change takes time, and the mental trap of cognitive dissonance won't disappear overnight. But each day, you're making progress, and with every positive action, you're closing the gap between what you believe and how you act. Keep showing up for yourself, and over time the gap will shrink until your actions and beliefs are completely in alignment. As we reach the final minute, it's time to look ahead at the long-term benefits of overcoming cognitive dissonance and breaking free from these mental traps. When you align your actions with your beliefs, it's like unlocking a new level of self-mastery. You'll start to feel more authentic in every area of your life, your relationships, your work, and most importantly, your relationship with yourself. Imagine waking up every day feeling grounded in your decisions, knowing that what you're doing is fully aligned with your core values. You'll feel a sense of inner peace because there's no longer a disconnect between who you are and what you do. This kind of alignment leads to more confidence, clarity, and joy. The constant mental tug-of-war will disappear, and you'll experience less stress and anxiety because your mind is no longer divided. But that's not all. This newfound alignment opens the door to more meaningful connections with others. When you're in harmony with yourself, it's easier to be present with others, listen deeply, and show up authentically in your relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who are aligned and authentic, and this creates a ripple effect in your personal and professional life. The best part? You'll start to attract opportunities that resonate with your true self. When your actions and beliefs are aligned, you send out a signal to the universe, to others, and to yourself that you're ready for the life you deserve. It's not about forcing things to happen. It's about allowing them to unfold naturally because you've laid the groundwork for success with your internal alignment. As you continue on this journey, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Each small victory is worth recognizing. Whether it's overcoming a moment of doubt, aligning with your beliefs in a challenging situation, or simply showing up for yourself every day, these moments matter. They are the building blocks of the new version of yourself that is stepping into the life you've always wanted. Now that you know how to break free from these mental traps and align your beliefs with your actions, it's time to put this knowledge into practice. Start today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Take one small action that aligns with your values and build from there. Share your journey with us in the comments below and let us know how you're overcoming cognitive dissonance in your life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more actionable insights like these. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video that could change your life. Let's keep growing together.